been a man guy. And over the last this season, they have played a lot of zones and a lot of fire zone blitzes where they're looking like everybody's coming, and then this guy's dropping and this guy's covering, and they're very. It's a very different defense than what I'm used to seeing, and I don't know if there's some.
But they're starting to catch on.
Yeah, but here's the thing, I don't know if there's some reason for it, because they kept referencing the footing again. And we talked about the footing several times on these post-game shows, and I did notice it. And I'm wondering if there's not an issue with the turf at Lambeau Field and in these colder environments with the turf, and so they don't want guys necessarily falling down, so they're trying to keep everything in front of them, and that's giving up that soft underbelly. Because, look, you can go back and watch years of film of Patton. He's a man, casino, zero coverage type of dude, most of the time. He comes under that Rex Ryan, Buddy Ryan scheme where it's just he could have that phrase, all gas and no brake, for real. That's usually how he plays defense. This is just different. So we'll get into it more, but I just I have noticed that, just as a recap, but it's because of the coverages they're playing, not necessarily because they suck.
Well, the zone, I think, was also, too, to see how Campbell would fit in it. And you know what? He did pretty dang good tonight.
Yeah.
Ibrahim Campbell came in and was exactly the person we thought he was. And it made a difference.
He's still got some getting back to get to yet,
Yeah, but if he's already performing like this coming back in his first week, that's what shows right there.
I'm saying it was good, and it's not even his best yet. That's a very good positive.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Anything else? Because then we can move on to we can take our break.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take our next break, and we can dig in on the offense and defense right after.
Yeah, then we're going to do the positives for the offense and positives for the defense. So we're going to take another quick break since, we had so long before our first break. We got to pay the bills around here. So we'll be right back.
Yeah, man.
And if you haven't had enough of our banter tonight, you want to visit NFL Addictions on Facebook.com for all of your NFL banter and chatter. It's not a trash talk site, so keep it clean and keep it cordial. That's NFL Addictions on Facebook.com. And if you still got an itch to scratch when you're done with that, you want to visit Raz Addictions on Facebook.com for their version of the raffle for all kinds of cool prizes, even a chance at winning some cash. You buy a $10 raffle ticket for a chance at winning $100. That's a chance at making 10 times your money. It don't get any better than that. That's Raz Addictions on Facebook.com for a chance at all kinds of cool prizes. Tell them what you've won, Dave.
I've won everything from tailgating barbecue sets. That I have a Packers one that I won, folks, for $400. I put $40 down on the spot. I won it, and it was out of 20 spots. It's really worth it. I've also won helmets that are signed.
What are you doing?
I've won banners that are signed. I've won memorabilia rings. I've won footballs that are signed, and other Packers knickknacks because that's my team. But go ahead and check them out. Cheap, affordable prices for certified, authentic stuff.
That's Raz Addictions on Facebook.com. Go there, play, and win. And as always, you can follow us on Twitter at First and Goal Pod.
Yeah, man, I was up early this morning.
At UPJ33. Dave is at
still
Steak
good,
and Cheese. And the fantasy wonder himself, Dylan, at Dylan Busby1. Email us at firstandgoalpodcast@yahoo.com with all your football and Packer questions and comments.
Want to do top three, top fives for offense and defense or no?
Live. That's firstandgoalpodcast@yahoo.com. All right, and we are back off a break.
Oh, yeah. We're back. Re-energized. Done yawning. Woo! But, guys, we're going to go over this. We got positives for the offense. We got positives for the defense. Jay, did you want to start us off, or do you want me to?
You know what? I'll start us off because I'm always going last and making you go first.
Look at you.
So, yeah, we'll switch it up. I will go first. My positives for the offense. I referenced it in the recap. Number one biggest thing was the overall way the offense was run and utilized personnel-wise, and who was the main focus. The running backs. I know you're going to laugh a little bit, Dave, but I truly believe McCarthy's offense went as the receivers and Devontae went, and whether we like – and I'm not – look, do not put words in my mouth, Packer Nation, and you freaking weirdos out there. Devontae Adams is no means tradable or not a huge asset that we do not need on this team. Like, that's the most asinine thing you can say, that, well, we lost 2 games when Devontae was there and we're 7-0 when he's not there, you know. Well, you know what? Those games were anomalies, not the rule. This offense is always going to be better and more harder to defend without it. The fact that they did well is only going to help us later in the season, because you had guys get comfortable and had to learn and gain rapport and trust with them. So, look, I just like this offense when it's focusing on the running backs, because that opens up the rest of the field. Like, literally, Devontae almost made – and I lost that bet, by the way, but he almost did it.
Yeah.
If he would have caught that last one, he would have had over 150. He just no touchdowns, and I still would have lost, but I would have become closer. But I got
it's a rare drop on Adams on a deep ball. Right. Rare drop.
Secondly, I'm going to say the defense overall was much improved. 16 points given up, had 2 turnovers, a couple of sacks. This was a pretty solid team offensively. Again, I'm not going to nitpick about CMC because, dude, you can't stop him.
He's an MVP candidate.
You can only hope to contain him. They basically contained him because he had to put out a lot of work to get those numbers. I look at my notebook. It seems like every drive he's listed CMC at least twice in every drive, if not more. That depends on how many plays they had. But I think he's probably responsible for at least on the low end 75% of their offensive production. Like on touches based, like touches and how it goes. So, yeah. And thirdly, Kenny Clark, particularly. I'm pointing him out. I called him out. Not really called him out, but I was concerned he was injured.
A lot of Packer Nation did.
I wasn't calling him out. I was
not calling him out in a bad way. But yeah, pointing out why he was slacking.
Pointing out that it wasn't and I don't know what it was. I was assuming it was hurt because this kid is not ever shown to be lazy or complacent or anything. So I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. I still don't know, but what I can tell you is he flashed on my screen today a lot. He was getting pushed up the middle. He's not quite as fast, doesn't quite have the burst, so I still believe there's definitely something wrong, but I think he's back to about 80%. So those are my 3. The defense, the Kenny Clark in particular, and the offense, player personnel running through the running backs, and just utilization of personnel in general. Go ahead, Dave. What do you got?
We almost had some identical stuff right there, man. But number one, going to start off with for the offense, balance. It was almost dead even on play calling for rush and pass. It was beautiful to see, because last week we saw it with LA, and man, we just pass. Aaron Jones had 11 touches total, pass and receiving and rushing. Tonight was a whole different ball game, folks. Whole different ball game. And then second for the offense, running game. I'm going to segue right into it. The running game. The running game with Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones had 156 yards by themselves. 3 touchdowns to Aaron Jones. Jamal Williams was the perfect relief pitcher. My God. Those two look like draft steals from Ted Thompson when they took them back to back. Steals. I love them. I love those two. The good energy, good momentum, and they close out games, folks. That's what they do. They close out games.
I want to pause for a second with you for a second and just point out the fact that I'm a complete idiot and I didn't even follow the rules. It's supposed to be positive for the offense, and I pointed out the defense and Kenny Clark so you
I
finish,
know.
and then I've got to correct my mistake. How dare you not call me out and stop me from making a fool of myself on air?
It's fine. I don't have to let you. Um, the number 3 for the offense. Actually, it's a 3A, 3B, and also one is an answer to a question we got from Monty. I got to hop on that, but it's my first part. Folks, Jimmy Graham, I don't know what has fired up his butt these past 6 weeks, but it looks good. He is blocking in the run game, the pass game. He, tonight was the only time I've ever seen him the most open he's ever been in a Green Bay uniform. And then the yards after the catch, he was fighting people down the field. He hasn't done that at all for us before. I
He made
loved it.
my wife cheer for him, and she has not liked him at all. She's always said he's lazy, and she was like, "There's that guy. Look at him." I mean, she was all fired up. That's saying a lot.
Blame Mike McCarthy. He's the one who alienated the tight ends last year. He made them feel alienated into this year with a new coach. And you could see Mercedes Lewis and Jimmy Graham pick it up and buy in from about 6 weeks ago. They even said in the locker room, since Jimmy Graham has been performing the way he has, they asked him the other day, and he says he never talks about his self accolades. He never talks about his self stats. He's always here for the wins. So to me, Jimmy Graham, it's like we're seeing the Jimmy Graham from 3 years ago. I'm not talking Saints. I'm talking like when he first got to Seattle, was still getting chunk plays, was still. And the thing is, in that time, with New Orleans or Seattle, he never blocked. Green Bay has unlocked the last piece of Jimmy Graham that can make him still viable. Yeah, I know he's getting paid a lot, folks, but that run blocking and the pass blocking he's doing is huge. That's huge.
It's the little things that help this offense run, period.
I mean, when's the last time you saw Jimmy Graham get up from like a 30-yard catch and then literally talk crap to the defender's face? It's been a while. And I watched him do that tonight. Trey Boston tackled him. He got up. He was carrying Trey Boston for like 5 yards, fighting another defender, finally tackled him, got up, first down in his face, talking crap to Trey Boston. I loved it. Jimmy Graham has attitude, and I love every bit of it. I'm all for that. And then 3B to that is Monty's question, Jay. I don't know if you want to hop on it now, but I feel like because it's part of my top three, but he's part of the third slot.
Okay, fine. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead, and I'll ask it to you then, so you can get into it. So
well, do you want me to ask it to you since you messed up earlier?
Fine.
You say it was a chat too. All right, Mr.
Because
Monty from the Full Monty Show emailed us. Our good first and goal family friend asked us, "Can Alan Lazard developing over the next year? Can he become the next legitimate number 2 wide receiver?"
He can, but I have a feeling he's going to have to fight for it no matter what. I think
to me, it's already there.
I think they're going to draft another receiver high, and then he's going to have to continue to prove it day in and day out. I think if he does this next year, I don't care what he does this year is what I'm saying. I think next year is going to be the test for him. And it's going to be because, look, these organizations, you know what they like to do? They like to monkey with people and see how they react to situations, but put themselves in a win-win. And so what will they do? I think they're going to draft a running back and a receiver or a defensive lineman in the first top 2. For sure, that's going to be first, second, third round. I just feel it. I don't know what order it's going to be, but I have a feeling a wide receiver is probably going to be the second-round pick more than likely. I think it will be between a running back and the defensive lineman in the first round. And I have a feeling it'll be a defensive lineman. I don't
know. If we take an inside linebacker in the first round, I would be completely happy.
Yeah, again, it's not going to happen because then you're you're just putting high draft capital in a situation to fail, and